So today we will be talking about thermosets. Uh, so thermosets, when the long chain molecule in a polymer are cross-linked in a 3D arrangement, the structure in effect becomes one giant molecule. If you see here on the right side of your screen, so right side of the screen shows a 3D structure which is cross-linked, and thermosets have such kind of cross-linked structures. So when the long chain molecules uh, you can say they are 3D structures. They generally remain in a spatial arrangement, and they are also connected with primarily covalent bonds which are very strong. These polymers are called thermosetting polymers because they are once they are set, they are forever set. It means that they cannot be uh, reorganized after heating or melting. So they generally polymerize themselves into very complex manner. So that is one of the reason uh, why this thermosets uh, are uh, are one set forever set kind of structure. An important behavior of thermoset plastic is that this cross-linking process is also called curing, if you have ever heard of. So curing takes place over the time in which the reaction takes place, in which the molecules of polymers arrange themselves not in linear structure but in cross-linked structure. And this polymerization or curing process is irreversible. So the response of a thermosetting plastic to temperature is like baking of a cake or boiling an egg. Once the cake is baked or cooled, or once the egg is boiled and cooled, reheating it will not alter its shape. Many thermosets such as epoxy, polyesters, urethane, they generally cure at room temperature. It means that the cross-linking can take place, the reaction can take place at the room temperature itself. Whereas the heat of exothermic reaction cures the plastics. Okay. So during the reaction, some kind of heat gets generates, which actually cures it. Thermosetting polymers, uh, the one thing which differentiates thermosets from thermoplastics is that they do not have sharp glass transition temperature. Most of the polymers who have sharp glass transition temperature are thermoplastics, but thermosets, they do not have a very sharp point for glass transition temperature, that is TG. And the polymerization process for thermosets, it generally take place in two stages. The first stage occurs at the chemical plant itself, where the cross-linking is complete under heat and pressure during molding and shaping of the part. But at the same time, the molecules are partially polymerized into linear chain. The second stage occurs during the post-production plant, okay, where actually the reaction takes place. And because of their nature of the bond, the strength and the hardness of thermosets, unlike those of thermoplastics, are not affected by temperature or rate of deformation. So a typical thermoset is like phenolic. Phenolic is a product of reaction between phenol and formaldehyde. So common products made from this polymers are handles, knob, cooking pots. Thermosetting plastics generally possess better mechanical, chemical, and thermal properties. Because of this cross-linking, they have a lot of strength. They can resist a lot of heat, and they are generally inert. Their dimensional stability is very high, and they can be used for many applications where the load is high or where the temperature reaches to a high point. Let's go through some of the most common thermosets which are having a lot of applications. The first one is alkyds. So alkyds resins are thermoplastic polyester resins made by heating the polyhydric alcohol with polybasic uh, acids. Alkyds are they possess very good electrical insulating properties. Also, their impact. In fact, just like to clarify here that most of the thermosets have a lot of strength in form of impact resistance, in form of toughness, in form of electrical resistance, in form of temperature resistance. Compared to thermoplastics, they are really good. So they possess alkyds possess very good electrical insulating properties, impact resistance, dimensional stability, and they also have very low water absorption. So a lot of coatings of alkyds are available in the market, and in fact many paints use alkyds as one of their components. Uh, Vinyl resins are very commonly available in the market, and these resins they act as a coat on wooden structure, on metal structure to prevent from corrosion. They are also used as a adhesive and a lot of other aeronautical and marine applications. So varnishes, enamels, uh, a lot of coil coatings, automotive finishings, the highway traffic paints, they all use alkyds. The another important thermoset is aminos. Aminos are a kind of thermosets which are available in the market by the name of melamine and urea. If you remember melamine, we use melamine cookwares because they are biodegradable, anti-scale, and they do not intoxicate. It means that uh, and the detoxicating agents are very low in melamine, so they are very good for cookware. Amino acids are also available like urea or like fertilizers for plants, for humans even sometimes, uh, because they are biocompatible in human body. There is certain requirement of amino acid, so they are also available for human consumption. They are also good as electrical resistance is also good for melamine. So a lot of electrical components are made of melamine and urea. Another important thermoset plastic is epoxies. So epoxy refers to, it is all very commonly available in the market, and it refers to the basic components or core products of epoxy resins So if you go in the market and ask for epoxy resins, it is very well available. And they are also known as polyepoxides or a class of reactive prepolymers. These epoxy resins, it may be reacted cross-linked either with themselves or with some other co-reactant, including polyfunctional amines, phenols, alcohols, thiols. So these co-reactants are often referred as hardeners or curatives. So the cross-linking reaction is commonly referred as curing for epoxy. Epoxies have so much applications in today's world, including paints and coatings, adhesives, industrial tooling and composites, wind turbine technology, composites. A lot of composites have a base of epoxies. So a lot of consumer marine and aerospace applications are based on epoxies. A lot of application of epoxy is in coating on marble floor, coating on normal floor to enhance its aesthetic. Also, it is impact resistant, so it can take a lot of load before any deformation. They also act as insulator for many electrical components. So all the transformers or wherever the cable joints are there, people generally pour epoxies with a hardener over that, and after a certain time it cures and gives excellent insulation and adhesive properties to the joints. So a lot of furniture also use epoxy because they can be carved into beautiful colors. Now let's talk about phenolics. Phenolics are very rigid and brittle. They are dimensionally stable and they have very high resistance to heat, water, electricity, chemicals. They are basically phenol formaldehyde resins, and they are obtained by reaction of phenol with formaldehyde. Okay. They are widely used for products like billiard balls, laboratory countertops, as coatings and adhesive. So whenever phenolics were actually the one of the foremost invented thermosets, which were also used for circuit boards, fiberglass cloth, or FR4 circuit board materials, because they can take a lot of heat. A very common, most common example of phenolic is knob. So if you remember the handle of your pressure cooker at your home, they are made of phenolics. Or the old style basic phones, they are also made of phenolics. Phenolics have excellent temperature resistance, impact resistance. So a lot of handles, knobs, furnitures, uh, office office cabins, they are made of phenolics. So so let's talk about polyesters. Polyesters, we have also read about polyesters during the thermoplastics. So polyesters, they generally come in two categories. That is, one is thermoset polyester, another is thermoplast polyester. So thermoplast polyesters have linear molecule arrangement. They are simple. They have less strength, but after certain degree of curing, polyesters start cross-linking with certain polymers, certain copolymers. They start reacting, and in that reaction or curing process, they convert that linear structure into cross-linking structure, and such kind of polyesters are called thermoset polyesters. So thermoset polyesters have very good mechanical, chemical, and electrical properties, and they are generally reinforced with glass. Okay, and polyester is a category of polymer that contain this ester functional group in their main chain. The most common polyester you use is PET, that is polyethylene tetraphthalate. So PET bottles, all the plastic bottles are made by made of PET. PET also has various categories. So PET 1, PET 2, PET 3, PET 4, kind of that. So if you look into your water bottle made of plastic, and you see at the base, the, the category of PET will be there. So the category actually defines whether it is biodegradable or not, or which kind of PET it is, and how much degree of curing has been done. Polyesters, because of their high strength in linear direction, they can be converted into thin threads which are very, very strong. And that is why most of the sports clothes are made of polyesters. So they are very, very strong, they are stretchable, they are resistant to weather. So they are assumed to be as one of the most suitable material for sports clothing. Also, machine parts like bush bearings, they are also made of polyester because of the high impact resistance to various forces. Another important type of thermoset plastic is polyamides. So polyamides possess very good mechanical, physical, and electrical properties at very high temperature. Apart from that, they also have creep resistance and low friction and wear characteristics. So polyamides have this non-melting characteristic of thermoset, but the structure of thermoplastics. So polyamides, like polyesters, are also available as thermoplastics and thermosets. If you give a large degree of curing, it just converts into a thermoset, but most of the time it is available in the market like a thermoplast. And because of their the property at high temperature, they retain their property at very high temperature, they do not lose it. So they are very commonly used with polymeric fuel cells, uh, displays, polymeric displays, various military roles. They are very commonly available in the market by the name of Captain. So Captain films are available. They also have very good chemical resistance. Uh, they can be they are generally available in light yellow or orange colors. The Captain films are available in the market. And they can also be combined with graphite or glass fiber reinforcement uh, for increasing the strength. So when I say this glass fiber reinforcement, it's all about composites, which we will be talking in probably next to next class. So if you have seen the flexible printed circuit boards or flexible rolls for solar cells, their base is polyamides. or Captain film. Okay, this is all Captain films are available on the market. They are flexible. They can resist. They can take a lot of heat without losing properties, either mechanical, chemical, or, or thermal. So they, that is why in most of the electronic components they are used as a case where a lot of heat is being generated. A lot of part of your laptop is made of polyimide films. A lot of electrical circuits are printed over these polymer over this Captain films. So they are available in the market in form of films, in form of solid material. So the last is silicone. So silicone probably you have heard of as a silicone sealant is available in the market. So the most common application of silicone is sealant. So they have silicons have properties that depend on composition. Generally, they weather well, they possess excellent thermal properties and electrical properties over a wide range of humidity and temperature. Typical, they are they are used as a sealant for joining. They are also used as a sealant for gaskets at high temperature, at like heat seals, waterproofing material. A lot of silicon based sealants are available for waterproofing the roof. So silicons have very low thermal conductivity, but its thermal conductivity can be enhanced by doping. And that chemical reactivity is also low. They are very less toxic. Another important property is that they repel water. So that is a hydrophobic nature. They have uh, they repel water, and that is why they are used as a sealant in most of the uh, of the box kind of application where water is required to be stored. So they do not stick to the substrate, but they adhere very well to others. They also do not support this microbiological growth, so they are biocompatible, you can say. They have resistance to oxygen, ozone, UV light, and this property has led to this widespread use of silicons in the construction industries. They also have very good electrical insulation properties, and they can be formulated to be electrically insulative or conductive because they are very, very suitable for electrical applications. So silicon cookware ladles are very commonly available. Silicon is available for making molds. So a lot of molds can be are based over the silicon. So silicon is used as a mold material. Silicon implants, because they are biocompatible and they do not promote this fungal growth, so they are used as implant in human body. So a lot of as a sealant, they are very commonly used, and they repel water at the surface. Uh, they are biocompatible, so the food grade silicon is commonly used in many applications, like in your refrigerator for ice cubes.